Hello everyone and welcome back to the tutorial series. In this video I will show you how to work with generic models and be able to obtain such forms. It is quite obvious that in a short tutorial we will make some basic forms because each of these buildings that is already modeled in the project took many hours, like around 5 or 10 hours. So, so I will explain the basics of creating, let's say, such shape and explaining how you should work with these generic models. They are useful for creating buildings that are adjacent to your site and especially for 3D printing. Generic models can be also be created within families. Uh, there are some specific tools that help with Windows and so on, but in this case I will show you how to do, for example, one building that is, let's say, close to the site. How do you do an extrusion, or how you do some profiles, how do you do some windows, uh, and yeah, I guess let's get started. I will open a new project and we'll show you some stuff and we'll see how it goes. So I'll click File, New, Project, Metric Multidiscipline, OK. And I will create a component here. It will be called Model in Place. I usually make it as generic model, write some other types, and you can click OK. Generic Models 1. Now you are into this menu. Unfortunately, Revit is kind of basic with all the tools that it provides in this regard, but with these simple tools you can do many things. As you can see in my project, I could model such buildings using just one or two, let's say, tools in various combinations. So the main tool you're going to use is extrusion. As I'm in a floor plan in the new project, I'll just click extrusion, and now normally the work plane is set up to be the L1, the ground floor, and the reference plane. If it isn't, you can set a work plane, but as for now it isn't the case. So I'll do a great rectangle and click Finish Edit Mode. And you can click once again Finish Model, and now you will have in 3D, if you go at the top of the screen here on the left on Autodesk, Revit, blah blah blah, and you have this house which will show an isometric view, and basically it created kind of a slab, but you have these arrows and you can drag it upwards, and now you have a volume. With this volume you can start off and basically you can sculpt, and to reach this kind of volume you basically have some extrusion and then some void ones, some booleans. If you've worked in other softwares and used booleans like in Blender or in 3ds Max, this uses the same principle. So in my case I think I am going to create some holes, let's say, and I'll try you to show how to create windows and so on within a 3D model. So I will exit the model, cancel model, and now I have this cuboid. I double click it and this brings you to the object editing. It's like a group editing in SketchUp, but this is within Revit. And within this workspace you can create many more let's say extrusions within the same space, and if you do more rectangles you can have more volumes. That will help you tremendously with speed if you if you want to create a bunch of buildings and you do not care that they are the same height or not, or maybe you can select each one separately. No, it seems that you have all of them to select them and will grow at the same time, but depending on your case it will matter or not for you. I will delete them for the moment, and now I will start to create some void forms. Void extrusion. So you have create void extrusion, and then it shows you the same panel for settings as I showed for roof, for slab, etc. You have the same contours, and now it makes sense to set a work plane. In this case you can set a level 1, level 2 or whatever, center is whatever, but I'll use the second option, which is to pick a plane. And now you can see with blue that you hover over the volume, and basically you select, and now you have the reference plane selected. That will help you put yourself into an elevation in the front. I have this cubicle in the 3D space, and now I can draw a rectangle. I click the green tick, and now I can see that I have a void extrusion. Basically I have a boolean. And if it ever happens that the volume becomes yellow and doesn't execute and you don't see the cut, it means that the volume is in the exterior. For example, if I put it like here, you see that it is kind of yellowish orangish stuff. But if you extrude it into the original volume, now you see that the volume is cut, and now you have the opening for a window. That's very good for 3D printing in general, because Revit generic models are very good, and in this case you can do your model as I showed you in the project, and then you can print all the building which is marked in blue, and you can get it in Bamboo Lab, and I'll show you that in another tutorial. So we have this opening, and we create once again a void extrusion. We are in modify create void extrusion. Now we have pick a plane again, and we draw some rectangles. We put ourselves into the front elevation as we did previously, and now we try to do, let's say, 4 window panels like this. You can create it however you want, but for the purpose of the video it will look something like this. As I told you, it is yellow because this greater volume was too much extruded, but no problem. I'll extrude these 4 volumes more to the back, and now I should be able to see them. It seems that there is an error sometimes. I think I have to cut. Let me see. If I cut this big volume, cut, doesn't want, it sort of has an error. I think I'll try once again. Sometimes it's a intersection problem, and yeah, sometimes you have to try again. And make sure that you select the right, let's say, the right plane. I'll go to the front once again and try to configure. Make sure that you have the right plane selected, because if you don't, it will be a problem and you won't be able to intersect those volumes. As I told you, there were those two yellowish orangish volumes. Now what is interesting, that you can use the controls and you can select 2 sides at a time, and you can drag it downwards. I can click like this on the green tick, and now you can see that I have a window, which is pretty neat. And also you can create yet again an extrusion. This is one of the most useful tools for generic models. Extrusions and are the safest from a geometric point of view. So let's say I want to create the encadrement for the window. I want to do something like, let's say, Michelangelo style or whatever. You have this half a circle or something like that. We create with an arch, and yes, I have something like this, and I extrude it. And one interesting thing, it is if it doesn't work as expected, you just move the arrow, and when you see the blue face basically highlighting, it means that it perfectly touches the volume, and basically you can have the window. So this is how extrusion works within Revit. So I hope you understood and it was clear for you. And yeah, see you in the next tutorial.